Yo, what's up, guys? This video, I kind of just wanted to delve into, I guess, the topic of change and delving into uncomfortable or unfamiliar situations in order to grow. Because, a lot of us, I feel like, we talk about self improvement, we talk about wanting to grow, to really get to know ourselves, but most of us remain too comfortable to do so, and you can only go so far in comfort. Comfort is a luxury that isn't afforded to everyone. And, there are times too where it's like, okay, yeah, you need to take a break. You've been working, you've been hustling, you've been doing what you got to do to essentially become your best self. And you gotta, have those moments of rest and respite because it's important too. It's just like working out, right? Like you go to the gym, you work on your muscles, you have to make sure you're giving yourself, adequate rest and recovery time. Otherwise, you're really just burning yourself out and you're not really optimizing your gains and things like that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about really just putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. And the reason why I'm saying that, is because excuse me, I just had some Haitian food, so I got some gas coming up and stuff. But the reason why I'm saying that is because me and my girl recently, I just moved out of my mom's house. We just got a spot together. It's real messy. I'm not even gonna just take my word for it. I'm not even gonna show you around, but we have no furniture. We got one bed that we're sharing right now. We got suitcases and bags all over the place. We haven't unpacked. But this is, I'm 28, 27, well, about to be 27. But it's kind of late for me to be leaving the nest. But then again, I don't necessarily want to compare myself to others. I had my own struggles throughout my journey. Demons I had to battle and overcome and confront mentally, physically, all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm 20, about to be 27. Just moved out of my mom's crib. We at the new spot now with my girl, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's uncomfortable. It's not like it's not the worst, but it's not the nicest neighborhood either. I'm unsettled. I need to put some money aside. Both of us do really, to just be able to afford things, to nice the house up. Probably gonna be using marketplace to get some furniture and different things in a budget type sense. But yeah, I mean, listen, I remember like just last night, my first night sleeping here, like I was uncomfortable, because I was used to sleeping in a nice bed in a quiet environment, in a place that I'd been for the past couple years, in the safety of my mother's home. And like, yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, it's like I know I'm built for more. I'm a man out here. I gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I feel like the gym is a microcosm for that too, because it's the same thing. If you're doing it right, like when you're doing something that's not, if you're doing it right, you're lifting heavy or you're doing high reps and you're getting tired, you're exhausting yourself, like you're doing something that's not necessarily comfortable, but you know that in the long run, it's both giving you like fortitude of mind, and then also you're seeing results in your body, right? And it's you're building discipline in that sense too, and also having other benefits, like just the way that people perceive you now when you have good structure in your body, you got some muscles. I feel like that just gives you an authority that, again, can't be purchased. That's why it's so revered in a sense, when you see someone who's in good shape, who's fit, because that's not something you can buy, outside of course the Drake memes of him having a six-pack. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the real shit. And yeah, I feel ultimately in life too, like that's where the real valuable shit is at. It's all the stuff that cannot be purchased out in the marketplace. Like how patient are you? How loving? How compassionate? How understanding? How brave? How resilient are you? You could have all the money in the world, but let's say, of course, we're living in the Western world now, but let's say, take Lebanon, for example. I have family from Lebanon. I have friends who, their parents or they have money in Lebanon and disaster struck and their money is caught up. A lot of people have to push back their retirements. And it's like, okay, we're living in a more stable society for the most part, us in the Western world. But, what do you like now when shit hits the fan? Like, you don't know. Shit might happen. Like, what can you stand on? What is your foundation now outside of the material? You know, again, this is not to downplay it. It's wonderful to have. Why not? Like, why not be wealthy in all aspects? You know, it's an abundant universe. Like, why not? But I'm just saying, you know, I feel like the real stuff that we came here to garner, to harvest, I guess, out of this human experience is the intangible stuff, the stuff that, you know, that cannot be purchased, that you have to cultivate, that you have to become aware of, that you have to grow into. You know, I feel like this has kind of been my life mission, is to, you know, make that the focus. You know, of course, I still want to be able to pay my bills and have a roof over my head and have food and even have some comfort. You know, I'm not denying that, but to me, that is not the end all be all. I already know this, you know, and I always use this example. You know, and any of you gamers out there, you might know this, but World of Warcraft back in the day when I was real young, that game was like, that shit was like, I enjoyed that shit more than real life. Okay. And just to make a long story short, essentially, I found out a way, you know, private servers where you could go and get all the rarest shit without having to grind for it, right? Like you could just purchase it for free. You know, you had access to all the dopest looking dragons that you could ride, the best gear, best weapons, and like it was like I was euphoric for a day, 2 days, a week, and then damn, okay, I got used to it. All the best shit. All the best. I had all, like, you know what I'm saying? It's as if I had all the Rolls Royces, mansions, swimming pools, yachts. I had all the best shit. And that shit was dope. It was amazing for a period of time. And then started taking it for granted. Like, you got bored of it. It wasn't the end all be all. And then I went back and, you know, I actually got good at the game. And I was able to achieve those things naturally, you know, the way that it was supposed to be, which was through the grind and improving and getting good. And yeah, I definitely appreciated it more because there was actually there was a backstory to it. You know, I knew the amount of hours, the amount of work, the amount of, you know, bonds I had to form in order to achieve this goal, you know, and it's like multiple people usually attained it with you. So it was dope too. It was like kind of like a team effort, and it's like everyone won in the end. So I feel like that's where maybe where I realized like the real memories were. It was not in achieving the thing itself, or not in acquiring the thing in itself, but it was, you know, all the work, all the relationships, all the opportunities that you had to go out and make and grasp in order to reach that goal, you know, that made it in a sense worthwhile. But then even then, you know, I always say, like, I feel like it was the overlaying or underlying things that carried over that really mattered, you know, which is knowing that, you know, when you find something you really love and you really want to get, you'll go to lengths that you didn't even think were possible for yourself in order to get those. And you know, that stuck with me. And I feel like ever since then, I've always been trying to, you know, it's been difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but I've always been trying to find, like, what is that thing that I love or I wish to attain so bad that, you know, I'm willing to stretch my character, I'm willing to grow, I'm willing to evolve in order to attain. And I mean, ultimately, I feel spirituality is at the top of that. It always has been. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to be enlightened now. I mean, well, the only possibility is now, but I'm just saying, you know, it's not necessarily right now in this current day and age for me. It might come in the future, or I might realize that I am that, you know, in the future or at some point. But again, that's like probably the top thing. And I always feel like that's like a background program that's always running, because it's something that means so much to me. It's like, you know, I want to know what I'm really here for and what I was meant to extract from this experience, and, you know, how to, I guess, essentially just reconnect with my truest self, my highest self, you know, and understand that. But then, you know, again, like I said, for me, it's always running in the background. I have my moments where I'll meditate and I'll read and I'll do things that are that have to do with that specifically. But, you know, I don't let that become like the sole focus of my life too, because it's like I'm in this world, again, there's a saying, be in this world but not of the world, right? So I'm in this world, I got to do what I got to do, but at the same time I always try to remain somewhat aloof, somewhat detached, somewhat aware, just so that, again, I'm not reacting, I'm responding to situations to the best of my ability and growing through that. I think it's important to be conscious, at least in the way that you respond to life, because curveballs are going to be thrown. You're going to waver, you're going to shake, but I guess it's just, again, building that resilience. Like there was a time too, like back in the day, where it's like I couldn't handle losing, I couldn't handle failure, I couldn't handle rejection. I would start wallowing in my sorrow, being extremely hard on myself. I'm still hard on myself, but like I'm definitely easing up. I'm trying to ease up and just like, listen, bro, you're doing your best, shit's gonna happen, but just keep riding the wave. But yeah, resilience, maybe some people are just built different and they got it in them, but a lot of people, I feel like it's something you have to learn and gain through experience and for picking yourself back up. But yeah, I don't want to go on too long. I feel like I touched on a whole range of things. Hopefully it wasn't too difficult to follow. Hopefully you guys got the references. But yeah, anyways, if you guys like these type of videos, I appreciate if y'all give a like, sub, and give me feedback in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to hear me go into or any feedback. Yeah, much love. Do your best out there.